Hey everyone, and welcome to Adventures in Dudeness, where every day isn't epic. A podcast for everyday dudes who enjoy normal dude stuff. Remember, new episodes drop every Monday at 5 p.m. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy today's episode. Welcome back everyone to Season 2 of Adventures in Dudeness. I am your host, The Dude. I'd like to wish everybody a Happy New Year, and sorry that I'm getting a bit of a late start. I really wanted to come back the first week of January, but unfortunately due to life turning into a bit of a crap fest at the moment, I'm a little behind schedule, but nevertheless we'll get caught up and back on track here, and we'll be starting Season 2. I know Season 1 was very short, but I wanted to get a start off on a new season for this year. And again, I hope everybody had great holidays, whatever you choose to celebrate, and a Happy New Year. And I hope everyone's New Year is going well so far. On today's episode, we are going to talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions. They can always be kind of difficult for a lot of people, and it just so happens that the day this is coming out, our Monday, is considered Blue Monday. So it's supposed to be the most depressing day of the year. It's when all those credit card bills are coming in from Christmas, and it's just cold, and most of us have kind of had our fill of winter so far this year. We're just getting a little bit tired of it, and this is strangely when a lot of people's resolutions tend to drop off. We start off on the right foot on the first, and we kind of fade away, and that's why today's topic is important, that we choose a resolution we can actually do. A lot of people, they like to pick going out and losing a bunch of weight, or giving up smoking, or giving up drinking, or exercising more, whatever it may be. But the problem is they try to bite off more than they can chew, and they try to do too much too fast. And eventually what happens is they peter out, and they just can't ever follow through. And I think personally, choosing a resolution for the new year is to maybe change something about yourself that you don't necessarily like, or you kind of just needed that starting point to begin something new. But I think what it is it really needs to be more about the accomplishment of being able to change something for a year, not necessarily make something is impossible. Because we all know we all have the best intentions when it comes to resolutions. But life gets in the way, things happen, and if you choose something that's a little more moderate, you can kind of feel better about yourself when you complete it at the end of the year, because it was something that's feasible. So some suggestions would be, what I'm doing is I am participating in the Hike 52 program. It's a free program you can find online. And Hike 52 is all about getting outdoors and getting some exercise, connecting with nature. And basically you just have to do 52 hikes in the year. It doesn't have to be, any backcountry or a mountain or anything like that. You can walk around your neighborhood, or a nature preserve, or a local park, whatever it may be, and you just need to do at least 52 hikes for the entire year. So if it's too cold out one day, don't beat yourself up. Don't you can't really get put off because there's 6 other days in that week that you can go do a hike, or if you have a stretch of bad weather or some family emergencies, something like that, you can always catch up. And that, I think that's really a great way. It's a great program, why it's a great idea to do, and it's very feasible and very easy. And then they have some things available on their website. You can get patches or stickers or medals, t-shirts, etc. To kind of reward yourself at the end of the year. So it's a very easy, simple program. And really the only requirement is that you, the way it counts is you walk at least a mile. So that's what counts as a hike, is a mile or more. You can go as far as you want to, but as long as you do a mile, you're good. Now, a lot of people out there may say, oh my goodness, a mile sounds so long. I don't think that I'm healthy enough to do it, or you may think that you're too old to do it. But what I did yesterday is we went to our local big box store, and what I did was I started a indoor walk on my Apple Watch, and just kept it running while we wandered around the store and did our shopping, checked out, and when we got back to the car, I stopped the walk. And most people don't realize when you go to a store and you're doing some moderate shopping, say your weekly grocery run, you actually walk just about a mile in that store. When I came out, we did 1.01 miles. So if you can walk a mile around a Walmart, just doing your shopping, you can walk a mile outside and find yourself a nice little route to do it. So it's very easy and it kind of works for everyone. But some other resolutions you could do if you wanted to, that in my opinion are pretty feasible, is maybe read 5 pages of a book once a week, or if you really like to read, maybe read a book once a month. It doesn't have to be a big book, any book of your choosing. And of course, that goes mostly off of how much time you have. Maybe once a month, wake up early and watch a sunrise, or maybe cook a healthy meal once a week. Just little things that we don't really have to think about and is not overwhelming for us to do. And I think that's really the key of having a successful resolution, is just to make it easy and make it so you can actually accomplish it. I think that's really the biggest part is accomplishing something at the end of the year. Now it's time for cool dude stuff. This week's cool dude stuff, or this month's cool dude stuff, is going to be a Christmas present I received, and really for me it's perfect. It's a great present. I was ecstatic about it, and I just think it's a great product, and I wanted to share it with everyone. So what I received for Christmas was the Slumberjack Dallas Divide 65-liter hiking pack. It's a great hiking pack. It has a lot of features, plenty of room. If you're a bigger fellow like myself, I think one of the best parts is the hip belt. Actually extends quite a bit and will fit some bigger guys, which I know it's hard to find a good hiking pack that actually fits bigger people. But I just wanted to go through and give you some specs on it. So it's a 65-liter pack. weighs about 7 pounds. It does have a flexible frame. It is compatible with a hydration pack, and its dimensions are 28.2 inches tall, 13 inches wide, and 10 inches deep. It is made out of 600D polyester. It also comes with a rain cover in the bottom of the pack. Your access to your main compartment is going to be a drawstring at the top, but you also have access in the bottom. It has a couple compartments on the brain itself, which I have divided for my first aid stuff and also my food and water purification. It also features 2 pockets on the hip belt, and it does have a daisy chain on the outside of the pack for carabiners. It's good for extended trips. So if you were doing a overnight backpacking trip or a through hike, it's definitely big enough to keep all of your stuff in. It does have a padded waist belt, sternum strap, hydration reservoir, compatibility, like I said. It does have reflective accents on it, so that way if you're walking at night, the light will reflect off of there. It also has adjustable shoulder straps. It velcros on the inside. You can take that off, move it up and down wherever you need to. There are a ton of adjustments on this pack, so you should be able to set it up exactly how you like and is most comfortable for you. It's not the top of the line pack, but from what I've seen so far, Slumberjack has made some pretty quality stuff. They have all kinds of different outdoor gear. After receiving that pack, I started following them on Instagram. They have a great Instagram account. And, if you're a new or intermediate hiker that maybe just does day hikes and you want to start getting into maybe an overnight backpacking trip or maybe a small through hike, I would definitely suggest this pack. I think it's pretty well made. It's durable. It'll stand up to whatever you need. And I think the weight itself is pretty good. For $65, I mean or $69. I think it retails for $89. Walmart had it marked down to $69 last I saw, and I think they're available at quite a few other stores. If you're looking for just maybe getting into an actual hiking pack that is bigger that you can do some overnight stuff with, I would definitely suggest the 65-liter Slumberjack Dallas Divide. Those are just my thoughts on it. Go pick one up, try it out for yourself. Let me know. Some of the reviews have been iffy on it, and I know that a lot of people stick their nose up to stuff that's available at Walmart. But nevertheless, it's like I said, more for intermediate or beginner hikers, kind of like myself, that maybe just kind of want to expand their gear. So that's it for Cool Dude stuff for this month. Next month, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to feature yet, but might have a preview of that in the next couple episodes. Now it's time for Dude, How Do You Do That? This week's Dude, How Do You Do That is we're going to discuss vehicle batteries. With the cold months here, the cold can really take a toll on your vehicle battery. So it's always a good idea that we take the time to maintain our vehicle battery to the best of our ability. to make sure that we know that our car is going, or our vehicle is going to start when we put the key in the ignition and go to turn it over. So what we'll do is we'll jump right in, and what we're going to want to do is you're going to want to pop the hood on your vehicle without it running. No keys anywhere. Make sure that everyone is safe. Make sure you have your safety glasses on, and that there is nothing on top of the engine, and that the keys are in your pockets, so that way someone does not inadvertently start the vehicle. We want to make sure that we really have nowhere around us. We may be, this could involve some battery acid, things of that nature. So make sure you have on the appropriate PPE and clothing that you don't mind getting ruined. And again, I cannot stress this enough. Make sure you have safety glasses on. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop the hood. We're going to take a look at our battery, and we're going to start with our battery posts. We want to make sure that there is no green gunk on those posts, because what happens is corrosion gets on there, and then we are no longer making a good contact. And we want to make sure that we have good contact on our battery, because that corrosion can cause heat, which can cause high amperage. So we just want to make sure that our contacts are good and clean. So go ahead. Most of the time it's going to be, it could be a 10 millimeter, or it can be a 13 millimeter. Make sure you're using, or half inch or 3/8. Make sure you're using the correct tool for the job. And you're going to want to go ahead and disconnect your negative first, and then your positive. And when you go to hook them back up, it is going to be your positive first and followed by your negative. So what you can do is, if you need to clean up your battery posts or your connections, you can use a little bit of vinegar and baking soda, baking soda and water. Go ahead and make a little paste, put that on there, and then go ahead and wipe it off. And then you can use maybe a small wire brush or some sandpaper or a Scotch-Brite pad. Just go ahead and get all that green stuff off there, get everything cleaned up, and connect your battery back on. Next thing you're going to want to test is your voltage. So again, going to need some tools to do this. What we're going to do is use a multimeter, a digital multimeter. You can pick these up at a hardware store. You don't need anything too in-depth, nothing crazy or professional. We're just doing some battery testing here. And go ahead and take your red lead and put it to positive, your black lead, put it to negative, and check out what your battery voltage is just sitting. You're looking for about 12.4 volts, maybe a little bit less, but we want to make sure that we have good battery voltage, because when that starter puts a load on that battery voltage is going to drop, which could possibly not provide enough power for us to actually start the vehicle. So about 12.4 is the lowest you want to go. Anything lower than that, you're going to want to go ahead and get yourself a new battery. The next thing we can do is you can use a refractometer if you have one, or you can get the little cheap gauges at the your local auto parts store or hardware store, and you're going to want to see if you have a you can either have a maintenance-free battery, or you can have a battery that you can maintain. If you have battery you can maintain, what we're going to want to do is you're going to want to pop those covers off. It'll be a vent cover. You can use a flathead screwdriver. Some have plugs. Go ahead and get those off. We want to check to make sure that all the cells are full of water. If they are not, go ahead and get yourself a gallon of distilled water. Must be distilled water. You cannot use tap water. Distilled water is cheap. It's like 80 cents or $1 or something at the grocery store. It's readily available. Make sure you use distilled water. You're going to want to make sure that your cells are all full of water. And then what you're going to want to do is use your refractometer or your battery acid tester, got a little bulb with a little gauge. Go ahead and you're going to take a little sample. And ideally what we're looking for is nothing lower. Personally, I would say that nothing lower than like 1.25 for our battery acid. I mean, some people go lower, some people get higher. I would say if you have anything lower than 1.25, you should probably get your battery replaced. Or you can go through and and put acid and more water in there if you really want to. But personally, what I would do is I would just go ahead and replace that battery. Once you're done with that, make sure you pop the covers back on, clean all that acid up. Ideally, you should probably be wearing a pair of gloves when you go to do this, just to avoid getting any kind of battery acid on your hands. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a load test on our battery. So what we'll do is you're going to use your multimeter again, or if you have a battery tester available, you can go ahead and do that. There's a couple different ways to do it. This way is going to, the first way I'll talk about is go ahead and put your meter on min-max setting, and you're going to have your meter on and set for DC voltage, and get your probes secured into your battery terminals. And what you'll do is make sure everything else is clear, everything's out of the way, everyone is out of the way. You're going to go ahead and get in the vehicle, and you're going to start the vehicle up, and then go right ahead and shut it off. And what you're looking for is your min-max on your basically the lowest battery voltage you had during starting. Really, I would say about 10.3, well, maybe 10.6, anything lower than a 10.6, I would probably go ahead and have your battery replaced. Anything higher than that, you should be fine. Ideally, I like to see about 11 volts, but 10.6 should be fine. Or if you're using a battery tester, go ahead and go through and follow the directions on the screen to test your battery with a battery tester, battery load tester. Some have a little switch, others are digital, and you can put in all kind of fancy information in them. Really go ahead and do whatever you have available for you. And finally, if you really want to, again, during the colder months, our batteries it's when we see our biggest failure rate of batteries. You can always go to your local auto parts store, and most times they will perform a free battery health test for you, or any battery store. They'll do a battery load test for you and let you know the condition of your battery. And if your battery is no good, they'll have a brand new one right there for you. Now, make sure that when you replace your battery that you always buy the correct size, and make sure that you have the correct terminals and terminal orientation, posts or side terminal. Make sure that you are replacing your battery with the correct battery that you took out, and that the manufacturer suggests. So that's all for today's Dude. How do you do that? Sorry, it kind of went a little fast. By all means, go ahead and Google it. There's plenty of places on the internet that teach you how to load test your battery, but word of warning, most of the time none of them are the same. So go ahead and pick whatever one you seem to like the best. That's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed yourself and would like to be notified when the next episode is available, please consider following or subscribing to the show. For more content from myself or other dudes, give the show a follow at adventures_in_dudeness on Instagram. If you would like to get in touch with me, have any questions or comments, or would like to nominate someone for a This Beer Is For You award, please email adventuresindudeness@gmail.com. Take it easy, dudes.